Hey, Will, welcome to New Orleans. Just want to see a little bit about maybe what brought you here and kind of what led to the agreement with the Saints here.
Yeah, man. No, first of all, man, super excited to be here. It's crazy. I got a lot of family down here. My pops is from Biloxi, Mississippi, so I got a lot of extended family down here. So that's pretty cool. Um, it kind of the free agent process. I was just kind of just working out, kind of grinding every day. I let my agent handle everything else, kind of all the logistics of it. But um, when they reached out and I seen that there was an opportunity to come to New Orleans, man, we had to take it. We had to take it. So um, I wanted to be around the culture not only of the city of New Orleans, but the culture that they've established, the culture of dominance that they've established around the league. Over the past, over the past, 2 decades. So that culture in the city, that culture of the team, man, and just there was a lot of crossover. Obviously, we had some guys, from here, on my last team in Detroit. So, when the opportunity came, I had to take it.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the overlap with some of the coaching staff in Detroit. Obviously, working with defensive backs. I mean, working with former defensive backs coach here in New Orleans, Aaron Glenn, over in Detroit. How do you feel that that sort of uniquely prepared you for this opportunity?
Oh, I mean, for sure. I mean, it's crazy because when you talk about kind of establishing and building the culture within the team, that's something that I've always been very involved with, and something that I try to make sure that I'm pulling my weight to do. And so when I came down here, I mean, I got the same feel, um and you can kind of feel it in the air here. You get here, and there's people do things the right way. They do things a certain way, and you have to come in here and you got to work, you got to grind. And so that's who I am to a T. And so I was definitely excited to be able to have this opportunity.
Will, how would you kind of best describe your play strengths and what it is that you bring to the field?
I would say that, I've had the opportunity to be pretty versatile over the last 5 years of my career. Being able to play, safety, nickel, and, corner obviously as well. I was I was attracted here, just because, they have had a track record of having, some other versatile guys who can do a lot of things as well. So, I would say that, but, kind of getting, back into my groove, um, just, being back in the building, man. Been working on all types of, techniques and stuff like that outside of, on my own, just training. So, I'm happy to be around the guys, happy to be, around the team, around the facility, and get back into that grind every day.
Will, it's hard to talk about your game without talking about versatility, right? Back in 2021, you took snaps from all over that Detroit defense. Is that sort of the style of play that you're most comfortable with, and is that the role that you envision for yourself here in New Orleans, or is it more about are you at this point in your career looking for a more specified role?
I mean, I've always said, and I still stand on it to this day, wherever the team needs me to be, I'll be. Wherever they see me at, between those white lines, I'll do it. And that's kind of something that I've always worn with pride ever since college. And so, whatever they need me to do, whatever they need me to do, I'm with it. So I'm definitely looking forward to the opportunity. I mean, getting to know the guys over the last uh, you know, day and a half that I've been here. So, it's definitely a work in progress. But I'm excited to be here, man, and yeah, you can feel the love here. So, I love the atmosphere and how guys go to work over here. So, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that atmosphere, and I know you've only been around for about a day and a half, like you mentioned. But what are your early impressions of Marcus Robertson, if you've had enough time to really sit down with him?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I spent a bunch of time with him already. Just trying to get caught up, get hitting the playbook hard, and hitting some technique as well. So I've been really leaning on him a lot. for a lot of that stuff. But, great dude, man, great coach, obviously has an abundance of wisdom, having played for, over 10 years, been in coaching, been, so he's, been around the game for a long time. And so having guys like that around and having guys like that as a resource for me, is huge, especially, just getting here a couple days ago, man. I can, he probably getting a little annoyed at me hitting his phone all the time, but but he's always willing to send me a text back or to meet up with me or get with me about anything about the defense or anything. So it's been great.
Hey, Will, I'm curious when, you talk about doing whatever it takes for the team. When you see your playing time kind of fluctuate the way it did the last couple of years in Detroit, is there, I don't know necessarily like a mindset you have to have, or like how do you kind of handle maybe a decrease in playing time and you're not seeing the snaps you used to, but still wanting to do whatever it takes to help your teammates and all that?
Right, right. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor, and I don't think many guys, can make it in this league, if you're not. So, I wake up every day and I imagine myself kind of, out there, and I imagine myself, between the white lines, whatever that may be, strapping them up, putting on the pads on Sundays, and going to war with my brothers on Sundays. That's, that's kind of been what my mindset is. I've had opportunities, different, opportunities. There's been different situations kind of every year of my career, but I feel like any opportunity that I've been, that I've had, and if I'm on the field, like I'm gonna stand up and make my presence felt for sure. So, um, that's what kind of brings it back to whatever the team needs, whatever it need me to do. I'm all for it. But with that being said, I'm definitely a competitor, and I do have all the aspirations and desires or whatever that any other player in this league has. And so that's where the work comes in. That just got to work every day.
And what do you add kind of from the slot, or how do you feel like you are as a slot corner specifically?
I've got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I was able to get my experience on up on that in Detroit, but I've just been able to kind of just learn, especially over the past couple of years, just learn just the intricacies of the position. There's a lot of ways that you have to play things differently than if you were outside, leverage wise, mechanics wise, run fit wise. Not even talking about the pass game, but you're in a lot of times you're in the run fit as well. So there's a lot of things that go into being a slot corner or a slot DB or whatever. So but at the same time, that's what makes it fun. You're heavily involved in most things that the defense is doing, when you're on the field. So that's definitely a great, position to be in. That's a great, uh, position in the field to, just to really make an impact all over the field. So,
Hey, Will, obviously a big change across the NFL with the new kickoff rule. I just want to get your thoughts on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're still trying to, well, I know I am at least still trying to study that every day. Because, there's always the rules. The rules is one thing, but, then comes after that is a bunch of, the strategies that, you can kind of foresee coming down the road, that guys, the teams may try to use to, to implement the rules or so that the rules kind of benefit you as much as possible. So, we're talking about that, in here, just, things to expect, things that we could try to capitalize on, things that, other teams may, try to, how other teams may try to attack you, given the new rules. So, it's, that's still a a learning process, and, definitely still studying up on that to this day. So.
And you kind of mentioned this before, but when, being in Detroit as long as you were, when Dan Campbell and them came in, like, did they talk about kind of that New Orleans culture? And could you kind of see the influences maybe that they brought from New Orleans and how they wanted to run Detroit?
Oh yeah, 100%, no doubt. no doubt. You know, that was one of the reasons why, you know, when I got the call from Detroit, man, I was just, man, I was excited, man. I was super excited just because I was like, I already knew, you know, what to expect, and me never having even, you know, visited or anything like that before. Prior to me coming here, you know, you could just, you know, you could see it on TV, like, you know, when we weren't playing, and I would always watch, you know, watch the guys, you know, watch these guys play, man. They play a certain type of way. You could see it, even as a spectator. So, you know, when Dan and, you know, AG and all those guys, they came up to Detroit, man, it was like it was night and day, as far as what they expected, more so like just setting the culture and changing the culture and deciding as a team how we're going to play and the purpose for which we're playing. So, you know, I walked through the doors here, felt that immediately, man. There's so many great players that have played here, and so many great coaches, and, you know, that have coached here, man. And so, you know, I'm just excited to, you know, to try to leave, to try to, you know, pull my weight and leave as big of a footprint as I can, you know, and try to, you know, help these guys any chance I get, man, and try to, you know, just do my part.